You got rid of your old vices, but caution, don't pick up new vices. New vices could creep up and you don't even know it. Let's say you're on this program, right? This whole idea of becoming the version of you that you would respect and admire. And of course, you got to do the exercise, diet, and wake up time, and finding your vices and getting rid of them. And of course, the difficult hidden vices are the ones that are more difficult to get rid of because they're not the popular ones. The drugs, the gambling, all those popular ones. Sometimes it's just normal stuff like food or snacks or treats or desserts or resting or scrolling or TVs or movies or research sometimes, or being nice. Like me, I was a people pleaser. I was like making people smile and laugh. That was my vice. If I could do that for someone, it would make me feel good. It would bring me instant gratification. But I wasn't doing it only to be nice or only to have someone laugh and smile. I was doing it because it was a vice. I was doing it selfishly. I was feeling some type of way and I needed that feel-good juice. I needed that make myself feel instantly gratified, so I would go people please. But be careful. The thing I want to talk about here is be careful with not picking up new vices, because they'll creep up and you don't even know when, because they haven't been a vice ever. Let's say your phone is not a vice. Let's say just scrolling social is not. It had never been an issue, never been a vice. You just did it casually, normally. It wasn't used. I said, what a vice is? A vice is a distraction. A vice is what you go do to feel good. Instantly feel good. Like, oh, okay, cool. And it keeps you from thinking about the adversity you're having, the issues, the challenges. It's a distraction. Distraction from the stuff that you don't want to think about. Because it's painful, or simply because it's a different kind of painful. You just don't want to do it. You don't want to think about cleaning the kitchen, so you go scroll social so you don't have to deal with the pain of having to think about the possibility of having to clean the kitchen. So it's not necessarily keeping yourself from thinking about a issue, a challenge, a problem, but it could be keeping you from thinking about your responsibilities, something you know that you should be doing but you don't want to do. I talk about that a lot here. That builds discipline. But back to new vices creeping up. So let's say you didn't see social media as a vice. You would just check it every now and again, see if anybody hits you up, see what everybody's up to, see what your favorite YouTubers or Instagrammers or TikTokers, or whatever your platform is. I was thinking about how to identify them, but it's any of your people that post, see what they're up to, because you like their content. It's cool. You learn from them. It's what it's supposed to do. But when it turns into a vice, is when you go check, or when you go consistently see, to keep you from thinking about your pain points. Maybe before you were like me, it was people pleasing, or maybe before it was snacking, or drinking coffee, or laying down, or watching TV, but you identified it and said, no mas, I'm not going to do that no more. I'm not going to, I'm actually going to face my issues. I'm not going to go do my thing that I normally do to keep myself from thinking about my responsibilities or my pain points. I'm not going to do that no more. And you identify it and you stop it, and you're doing a great job at it, and you don't run to it. But now, that's a nice truck. Of course it's a Toyota. Now you're scrolling social media, and now you're finding satisfaction in that. Now you're finding instant gratification in that. Now you're not checking normally like you would normally do 5, 6, 7, 10 times a day. Now you're doing it every time you're thinking about that pain point, that part you don't want to think about, your finances, your relationships, work. You don't like what you do for work. You don't like the atmosphere, your issues that you have at work, issues that you have at home. And every time that you start thinking about those issues that you need to go solve, maybe it's your weight, your health issues, and you don't want to think about them. You're starting to reach for your phone and like, oh. And because it's never been an issue, it was never a vice, it was never nothing that you ran to because you had that other thing, you don't think that it's a vice. No, it's not my vice. I already went through my vices. This isn't a vice. You already fixed them. Remember, you went through that whole vice thing and you fixed it and it was fine. So there's not going to be no more vices. But be careful, because new vices could creep in. such as that one, for example. Anytime you start feeling these pain points, anytime you start feeling this this frustration of not wanting to do the things that you know that you have to address or do, are you doing something new again? That's where you need to have caution. That's where you need to be careful. What are you reaching for now? What are you doing now that you're using as a vice? That's what I mean by new vices. New vices can creep in and start doing the exact same thing the old vice was doing. So the sooner you can catch it, like, wait a minute. Is this turning into a vice? The sooner you can keep it from rooting and becoming a vice. Because these things are cool. You wouldn't want, let's say social media is not an issue for you. You enjoy it. It's cool. It's a way you keep in contact with your friends, with like people you follow. It's cool. But you notice that you do use it. The moment you can stop, it's like, no, okay, cool. No, I'm not gonna. This is starting to become an issue. That's you being disciplined. That's you being responsible. It's like, I'm gonna check it, but not when I'm feeling down. Why am I feeling down? Well, I'm feeling down because I don't want to think about cleaning out my car. It's like, okay, well then instead of checking social, go clean your car, and when you're done cleaning your car, you can check it. That'll start putting into your head, like, okay, this is not going to be used as a distraction. This is going to be used for what it is. It could be as simple as entertainment. That's fine, as long as you're not using entertainment to keep you from doing the things you know you should be doing, but you don't want to do. You're not using it. I'm not going to fit here. Oh, parking's premier here. You got to make sure that you're not avoiding the things that you should be doing by using your vices, whether it's an old vice or a new vice. Don't get caught up in the vices. Keep your eyes open for new vices trying to creep in. You don't want to get caught up in that.